Thank you so much, Julia. We are the home of the free because of the brave, including so many of our women who bear the uniform of our U.S. military, and thank you for championing them. We're happy to take a few questions. Yep, sorry, hand first.
Thank you. My condolences to your colleague from the Musk brother.
Thank you.
I just want to ask you about taxes. I know there's talk about Republicans, whether it be a short-term bill or trying to permanently extend Trump's 2017 tax cuts. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah. Thank you. Did Judy leave? I was going to hand it over to our Ways and Means Committee member. The Democratic Women's Caucus, one of the very first things that we did was send a letter to President Trump extending an invitation, a truly genuine invitation to talk to him about the ways in which we can work together. The Tax Cuts and Jobs Act is a mixed bag, and especially for women, including women entrepreneurs. I serve on the House Small Business Committee. I know that some of the tax cuts that were included in the TCIJ, they want them to extend. We want to have a sit-down conversation with Trump and talk about the ways that we can work together. The Democratic Women's Caucus is a powerful caucus within Congress, and we're, ready to work with our leadership and help deliver the votes that we might need to get a budget bill and a tax deal done this year if it works for women and families. I want to make sure we can get to enough questions. We had quite a few. Yeah.
Do you see any changes in how you guys are messaging this time around, or lessons learned from the first administration, anything like that?
I see a unity that exists on the ground, but for some reason is not necessarily breaking through into the national conversation. A lot of people say, Democrats have struggled to find their footing. Yet, this time around, you've seen, members of our caucus who have walked into a meeting with the Speaker and the Treasury Secretary demanding answers for the American people. About a dozen bills have been introduced this week holding, the Republican leadership accountable. And, there's been noticeably absent fire on Republicans this time who are standing by and allowing this to happen despite outcry from women in their district, despite outcry from women around the country over, what they feel is an unconstitutional takeover of our federal government. Women are united with the rest of the country in the fact that we know that there need to be reforms to the way that we tax and spend in this country, but you do that through a congressional process. It is literally Congress's number one job to allocate funding, to decide how we're going to tax and spend those taxpayer dollars. And, Trump is choosing to do this exclusively through an unelected businessman who has serious conflicts of interest in the work that he's doing, and not bringing it through Congress. So, I will just reiterate that we feel a strong unity in opposition to what he's doing, and accountability needs to be placed at the feet of the Republicans. I saw your hand. Yeah, absolutely.